Morning traders, welcome again to another video. I'm looking at FinViz here and I just wanted to bring to you my thought process on when I'm searching for stocks. I have FinViz, the elite version, and I'm going to just go through my thoughts on when I'm looking at the stocks. So I usually look to see what's in the top gainers and if they're anywhere else. So we have S, which is Sprint, in top gainers. It's also in the new high and also unusual volume. ZKIN, top gainers, as well as in unusual volume. Let's see, was there anything else? REXN, unusual volume, as well as top gainers. So I just usually just glance through by just hovering over each one to see what's happening with them, and then I go into focus to take a look further. So with S, Sprint, what happened was that they joined forces with T-Mobile, and it's looking pretty good. The average true range is 0.18. RSI is over that middle line, which shows overbought and oversold. And then I go into my interactive to take a further look at it. Now this thing popped all the way from basically 428 all the way to 843. Now with a merger, you may think that it's going to continue going up, but you never know. All this is emotional trading right here. So I usually don't go into stuff like this until I'm absolutely sure, until everything is just settle down, and then I can see patterns being formed. So my thought process is this might come down a bit, but you never know. You just have to watch the trade and see. I usually just go in and just take a little look at what's happening with it. So if this thing is going to drop, I'm thinking it wouldn't drop too far down. It might just go back to $8, or it might just continue going up until I see a pattern. Then I'll know. All right, so REXN, I looked at this, and this, the news on here is biotech looks for a lifeline following restructuring. And the ATR average true range is 0.13. The RSI is touching on that line right there, the middle line, like the other one, you know, between overbought, oversold. And I put my lines in. Let's get this right there. And I'm glad this happened. So I usually also put in another line if this, you know, because it had that space there. So I put another fib lines in. Oh man, this is what I thought this morning, that this was going to hit here. But this is where my final thinking is, that it might just hit here and then drop back. But we still have room to go. We still have 272, and what's this one? 307. That's a possible hit. But I knew that this is going to go here, because this is like the one of the major support resistance line. If you're looking at what I'm saying, this is the resistance support on 3 candles and on multiple candles here. So I knew it was going to hit there, so it did hit pre-market. So we're going to watch this. And the reason, see this pattern right here? That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so that's the pattern that I saw, and I knew it was going to go up. So it has hit on that line. So next, now I'll watch to see if it's going to be a pop and drop, or it's just going to just keep going up for a while before it turns around. All right, next we can look at GNPX. See that pattern? And that's what with Finviz that I like. Now this is looking like it's setting up to be a W, one of the W patterns. But again, we watch to see. If you have DAS, then you can trade pre-market. Webull and Robinhood's not that great on pre-market trading, and I'm gonna go over to DAS in a few weeks so that we can look at it that way. And for those of you who are actually trading using DAS, because then we can expand our knowledge using our time and sales and our level 2 and watching our volume bars, which shows a lot better over there. All right, so I'm watching GNPX, and this might hit high of day, which is $2 later, but I'm a little concerned about this red candle, this tiny red candle right here touching on fib. So this, we may just get a drop back to 132. So again, we're watching that. ZKIN is it has a bullish setup. News on that: international group supplies piping infrastructure to new hospital designated for coronavirus patient in Wenzhou City. So ATR 10, nothing on beat beta. It's below the line. So let's look at what it's saying. Not much view on the, let's see, let's look at the daily. All right, let's just put in our lines on the daily and see what it looks like. All right, so this thing popped and hit that major support resistance right here. It has a long candlestick. Not much hope for this one, but then again, we can watch it. If anything, it'll drop back to 140, between 140 and this other major support resistance line here, which is 132. Right there, 132. But it might also creep up on this candle and get back up to high of day. We don't know. So we watch to see. AMKR just popped on there. Let's see what that says. Surpasses fourth quarter earnings and revenue estimate. ATR 0.43, beta 167. Right there. Okay, below the line on the RSI. I've seen it touched on that line a couple times, almost here and here. So it might get a pop-up. Based on this pattern, it's possible. This is a $13 stock though, so I'm not sure if you guys will want to trade that. But right here, it has just hit a major support resistance line, so we might get a pullback to 1247. So again, we watch to see what happens. We did do ZKN. They tend to go over. This is a $93 stock, so we're not going to look at that. SPCE is a $21 stock. Options should play these tickers, stock rallies. Over, came back down on the RSI 14 line. ATR is 134, nothing on the beta. It's making that pattern I like though. So are we gonna, is that gonna be that pop, or is that gonna be keep going up? Wow, this is one to watch. I will definitely be watching this one. I'm not sure if I'm going to trade it with you guys because it's a little high price stock, even though that shouldn't matter. Yeah, this should be going up a lot more. Pop out green, did not pull back convincingly enough. Continue going up, but this is a new high. So, this could go really high. Okay. All right, I am going to be watching this one. All right, so that's my thought process on these stocks for now. It's now 9:24. I will resume the video right after. All right, guys, so it's now 9:58. I'm sorry, I'm just getting back on. I had to take a trade on SPCE. Saw this beautiful setup here. This stock was just not being pushed down. And then the pop this morning. So I waited and I got in at 21.35. So right about here, I got in at the break of the trend line, and VWAP was still going up at the time. I came out at higher day because I don't have a history for this stock. I don't know where it's gonna go because this is the highest it's ever been. Let me just take off everything so you can see what I'm talking about. This is the highest this stock has ever been. So I just got out at the morning high of day, which was here 21.69, but I just put 21.70 and it did hit it. So I probably will not be getting back in there. I went in with 1,000 shares, so I got $350. But yeah, like I said, I don't have a history for it, so I don't know. But with this pattern, it should be going up quite a bit. But I just don't like stuff that I don't have a history for. I need to know. I need to have other supporting information, like where was the last support and resistance, so I can hit that. But this looks like a pretty strong stock. Pretty strong stock. There is this pattern again setting up. Don't know if I'm going to get back in it. It's really tempting, but this is pretty risky. And I don't like to take risks that, I don't need to. I'm up $350 on the Dana personal account, so it's fine. This stock is really going up, and it is hurting my heart. My heart is aching. 21.70 I'm out, and it's up at 22.28. But I don't know what's gonna happen, so I don't like to do that. I don't like to do that. This stock, I don't have a history. I don't have a history. But I'll be watching this throughout the day to see what happens. Now, and there, look at that big drop. Look at that big drop all the way back down. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the scary part of trading like this. You could have said, okay, it's gonna hit this support resistance line, so I'll hold on. But then you don't know. You just have to just like chance it, and I don't take chances like that. But I did like this pattern. I waited for it to break the trend line, and then I got in and got out on higher day. Actually, let me just draw this so you can see. This was a line I'd drawn, and I got in at 21.35, which is somewhere around here. And then I got out right where the last high was. So we have high of day right there, and that's why I came out. So that could be the lesson for today. Yeah, but this thing just continued going up, and even though I really want to, you just gotta have to build your resilience and resistance to these things. All right, so let me just glance around and see what I can find we can trade here, then I'll get back to you guys. All right, see you in a sec. All right, so let's look around and see. So let's go back over what we were looking at this morning. So with Sprint, I said was an emotional trading going on. Let me take out all this because these are old lines. So still just trending up there. I said I wouldn't get in this until all the emotions are out. ZKIN, I had said would hit, it probably could hit 177, it actually went to 163. REXN, I said that that could hit 211, so it actually went up 244. So that one not too bad right there. GNPX. GNPX might try to hit high of day. High of day was 170. Well, I had high of day at $2. So this thing actually did not hit on any account, but we are seeing a nice little pattern right here. That could be our trade. That looks like something that's going to be coming down. This stock is at 162. We could get in. Usually when stocks are low, I remember, I think if you are below $202.50, they have, you can only get in with 2 to 1 or something. So 2,000 shares, we could get in with 2,000 shares for a short sell. If you have it shortable, these pullbacks are very convincing. However, VWAP is sitting on the 38.2 line. Let's see the daily. Okay, the daily is right here though. All right, so yeah, let's get in with a short sell to 150 with 2,000 shares. All right, so while we wait on that to populate, FENC, we're just watching that. Thought it might have, in my notes here I said it might hit 850 then turn around. It actually didn't, so it just turned around right there. That's why you watch stocks, to see what actually happens, and don't just assume. Yes, you can use your technical analysis to give you a fighting chance, but there's a pattern right there. And my SPC. All right, so let's go back to GNPX. We want to out at 150 because we have our daily and our minute fib line hitting there. Pop, double top right there. Could not break it, so we're looking for a down to 150. Alright, this thing is really moving slow. While we wait, let's look at SPCE again, just to pass the time. Alright, look at that. Whoa, see what I'm talking about? How risky this thing is? This thing just fell all the way down. Well, it went down all the way to 21.34, which is, I went in at 21.35, which is basically where I was. And then just pounce. Very erratic, very unpredictable. So yeah, that's why I came out of the only indicator I had, which was higher day. All right, let's go back to GNPX. And while we wait on this, I just wanted to point out something, guys, that even though I trade here showing you using, ooh, this thing isn't moving now. Yes, keep going. With paper trading, it's good to develop a trading strategy using your paper trading, but believe me, you don't start trading until you start putting your money where your thoughts are. So if you think that this is going to do that and you put your money, you have entered into another world, because Trading is, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, trading 5%, everything else. Learning strategy, technical analysis, learning a software, broker, learning time and sales and level two and volume and all of that. But the other 95% is all you, emotional. And until you learn to, the only way I can say it is kill that emotion inside you and trade and don't care about the money. And I know this sounds weird and this sounds crazy, but until you stop thinking about, the money and whatever, is when you're going to start trading. It wasn't until I just gave up on thinking about money and just saying whatever happens, happens. Then I started really trading and making the money because if you watch the money, you are going to be emotional. You're going to be like, oh my God, it's getting red. I'm going down so much. I'm 10% down. I'm 20% down, or whatever. When you trade with your strategy and focus on making the right entry points, watching your pattern, setting your exit points, and just focusing on that, the rest will be good. Your money will be green. You will have a profitable trading day. But if you just keep focusing on the money and, oh my God, let me just take it here, or let me just take it there, or you know what, and I agree, sometimes, you can't help it. I can't help it sometimes. If I see the stock bouncing around near my exit points, and I'll just get impatient and say, you know what, let me just get out of here before this thing bounce again. Yeah, I do sometimes look at the money, and you're probably not gonna lose all of that because we are emotional beings, and that's why when you trade, focus and lose that part of you, and then find an outlet. Go out afterwards. Go to the movies. Go to a fun park, or and get all that excitement out of you. Get back your emotion. But while you're in here, you just gotta just. And that's why a lot of people say don't trade with money that you can't afford to lose. It's that you just try to focus more on your strategy, on your trade, and then the money will come. One of the things you can do to gain experience in learning to, how should I say this, curve your emotion, for want of a better way to say this, is to trade every day. Try to trade every day. Go in with small share size. I have gone in with 10 shares once because I wasn't sure of what was happening, and I just wanted to see if my thought process was correct. You go in with 10 shares, 5 shares, 50 shares. Take that nervousness of going too much in, of going all in, out of it, and just practice, you know, curbing your emotion, taking your eye off the money, watching your pattern work, watching your trade work. You know, do stuff like that. Go in small share size and just trade. Try to trade every day. So the emotional part of it, you're training that emotional part of you, of the training you, trading you. I'm probably blundering this because I'm not really, someone to, I'm not a presenter, or, but I'm hoping I'm getting my thought across, because trading is my life. I do this every day. I love this more than anything else, and I do have an outlet. I have a greenhouse that I love plants. I love planting. I have some amazing tomatoes, even in winter here coming. I have peppers um, and lemons and all of that coming. So I go down and I just be with my plants and my dog. So, and There are times I do go out somewhere and try to enjoy myself. And I live close to the river, so I just go by the river and just relax. So when it comes to trading, you should be all in and just focus on your pattern, focus on your technical analysis, and make sure you get those right, through paper trading, but then get into the real world of trading and practice that as much as possible, because it is true, practice makes perfect. All right, and just be patient with yourself. A lot of big traders, it took them years. It took them years to trade. And I've said this before, that you're going to be making more than lawyers and doctors. Who are you to make more than them by just trading and learning to trade in a month? It's going to take you a while to get there. So just enjoy the ride and keep track of what you're learning and retain it. And don't make the same mistake over and over. Learn from your mistakes. All right, so that's enough of me blabbering. So we'll continue to wait on GNPX to do its thing. All right, seems as if it's struggling to break this support line, but it should. There you go. I knew it should, because this is prominent right here, and I'm just waiting for it to hit. Let's see. All right, let's see. We're right here, 150. Let's make a big white line so we can see where our exit point is actually looking on the daily. So our exit point is here. Major support resistance. The daily line and the minute line as hit on there. I seem to have more than one daily line. I have one up here. I have this blue line here, which top there. This one topped here. And I have my minute, which topped at the higher day right there. It's not really touching on it, but it's pretty close. Let's take that back out so we can have it looking a lot better than that. What happens that Webull holds your lines even though you've traded it maybe months ago. All right, so my exit line is going to be at 150. So I'm going to buy that back at 150. Or 152 is where the line is. And we're almost there. We're at 155. I'm taking it on the minute. The daily is 150. Let's take that back out. But this is a bearish setup, so this should be coming down. But it's right there on that support resistance line here. It's now 10:28, February 11, 2020, and we're waiting on GNPX. Okay, it seems to be struggling trying to break this support line. We're trying to get out at 152. It's now at 156. So we're just going to hold because we're trying to get out as 38.2 on the minute fib line. But this support line is real major. So it's the second one down. Let's look at see what it holds. Second one down right there. Okay. Guess that's almost like the last line of the fence. So thinking that's why it's being held up like that. Okay. But this is a bearish setup, so it should be coming down. Just gonna hold for another minute, but because the struggle is real right there, I'm just gonna take it at my first out at the next down fib line, which is 38.2 that I like. It may take some time. Now 10:37. It's back to 155. Come on, just 2 more cents. Come on, guys, just keep pushing. 2 more cents. Come on, there we go. Yes, 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 yes. 152, baby. 152. 38.2%. Did I say it? Did I say that? I can't hear you. All right, I'm out. $179. Took us quite a while. It's now 10:39. But boom, boom, boom. We got it. We got it. All right, so I am just going to get around and see what I can get for myself. I'm glad we got this pattern. I haven't shown you this pattern in a while. I'm just going to edit this video and then I can just jot this back in so we can see. And there it is. It's just still sticking around my line. Sticking around the line. All right, guys. So, yeah. I'll be right back. Let me just edit this video and then we can get back. So like I said, this was a bearish pattern and it actually went beyond. We got out at 152. It consolidated on there for a while and then dropped all the way to our 50% line, bounced back again to our 38.2 line, was there for a while, and now it's sitting on the daily line. So if we had stayed in, we could have gotten out at the 145, but because this thing was just playing around, we just decided to come out at the first exit and the 38.2%, which looked good to us. Not a loss, really, not a big loss, because this thing just pounced back up and was just around our line here. So still up $179 on the day, still looking good, and I just wanted to bring this back to you. So guys, if you like this video, please go ahead and like and subscribe and share, spread the knowledge, spread the information, and I will try to get back to you tomorrow. So if you can't be good, be careful. See ya.